Hello, welcome once again to Lehto's Law. I'm Steve Lehto. I'm going to tell you something that we all already know. I'm not trying to be Captain Obvious here, but yes, police have quotas when it comes to writing tickets. And this is in the news, and Steve passed the story along to me, so thank you very much, Steve, for doing that. But we've all heard this, that police officers in certain departments, in certain cities, have to write a certain number of tickets, and if they don't, then they can get chastised for it. And if they do, of course, they're good police. And this is, of course, one of those things that makes you wonder, well, I mean, wouldn't that be wrong? I mean, if they're writing tickets based on a quota versus what people actually deserve to get, that would be a problem. So the reason this came to light recently, and this is out of New Jersey, but I believe this is pretty much universal everywhere on some level. The story out of the New Jersey Advance by Anthony Atrino. Police chief ordered ticket quotas to raise revenue. New Jersey cops say in a whistleblower lawsuit. Now, this is involving a lawsuit filed by some police officers who make these allegations about the system, but I'm pretty certain that this happens in a lot of places. So even if these facts don't bear out in court, trust me, it's happening. 6 police officers in Mercer County have filed a whistleblower lawsuit against Lawrence Township and its police chief, claiming they were ordered to write more tickets and impound as many cars as possible to meet an illegal quota. The suit, filed on Monday in Mercer County Superior Court, claims Lawrence police administrators ordered officers to write tickets and impound cars, quote, every time they are eligible and without discretion, unquote. The reason was that revenue was down, according to the suit. So they're doing this to raise money. Lieutenant Joseph Amodio, Sergeant Scott Stein, Detective Andrew Lee, and officers Mark Capone, Andre Mejia, and Hector Nieves, all members of the PBA Local 119, are suing the township and police chief individually and in his official capacity. The suit accuses the chief and his brothers of ordering officers to stop being lenient when it comes to citations. And the chief's brothers are, coincidentally, a lieutenant and a sergeant with the police force. The advisement campaign is over. No more catch and release. Revenue needs to go up. One of them allegedly said, according to the lawsuit. Lawrence Township developed a systematic way to use motor vehicle enforcement to generate revenue, the suit continues. The system is intricate and places a substantial financial burden on anybody who commits a motor vehicle offense in Lawrence Township. According to the suit, cars are impounded regardless of the criminal or motor vehicle offense and taken to a municipal lot. So they grab your car. There, motorists are required to pay $300 to get their car back, and the money is never refunded, even if the person is found not guilty of the charges, according to the suit. So they grab your car, you get your car back, but you had to pay money to get it back. So it's a little thing they got going there. The suit states the police department takes only cash or money orders, so motorists who don't have enough cash have to use the ATM in the lobby of the building. But the ATM only dispenses $200 at a time, so you have to make 2 withdrawals, and you're charged 2 fees for using the ATM, and of course the ATM fees go to the township. Therefore, upon the issuance of a ticket, regardless of the guilt of a motorist, he or she is already required to pay the township close to $475 between impound fees and towing costs just to get their car back, the suit says. This is prior to a motorist being found guilty of any offense. So they're just to get the ball rolling, we're going to take your car from you. You want it back, you got to pay us. Just a little, like I said, a little revenue raiser there. In January, a committee convened by the state Supreme Court acknowledged a growing public perception that municipal courts operate with a goal to fill the town's coffers and called it contrary to the purpose of the courts. And I'm here to tell you, I've told my clients this before, if you get bored and you're sitting in court, just start watching the cashier's window. Count how many people go up there and guesstimate how much money each of them is giving, and then realize how much money is going into that cashier's window. That's all the court appears to be, especially if you sit in the lobby, is just a revenue-generating source. The committee, which recommended sweeping changes across the state, wrote it was deeply concerned about what can be a never-ending imposition of mandatory financial obligations upon defendants that extend beyond the fine that is associated with violation. Despite the report, Lawrence Township continued its practice of using the municipal court system as a revenue generator, according to the lawsuit we mentioned earlier. The officers claimed that when they filed complaints against their superiors, including allegations of issuance of an unlawful order and neglect of duty, they were then retaliated against. The suit states that Mercer County Prosecutor's Office was told about the alleged illegal quota scheme, but has not taken any action. The suit claims an assistant prosecutor was recorded on body camera video stating one of the complaining officers would need a lot of beef and beers as fundraisers. This is implying that the prosecutor's office or the defendant were going to terminate somebody, the suit states. The suit claims other officers have been had preferential assignments taken away. Sergeant Scott Stein claims he was targeted for discipline and internal affairs investigations after complaining about the quota system. The suit also accuses Lieutenant Joseph Caloiro of abuse of power for allegedly engaging in a high-speed pursuit and arrest of a driver who gave him the finger. After his arrest, the driver's car was impounded, of course. The police officers who complained about the quota say they were placed on a hit list and subjected to frivolous allegations and internal affair complaints from administrators and the township. The suit alleges civil rights violations, a hostile work environment, and asks the court to order the town to stop using summonses as an improper municipal revenue generator. The chief and township officials did not immediately respond to requests for comment. An attorney filed the suit on behalf of the officers. Ticket quotas and any mandates that set numerical requirements for law enforcement violations are not only illegal, they are destructive to the relationship between the citizens and their police officers, the attorney said on behalf of his firm. Especially in the current climate, people need to trust the police department, and officers need to be trusted. So I can tell you right now that if you ask any police officer on the record, do you guys have quotas? They go, no, of course not. We don't have quotas. Ask any police administrator on the record, do you have quotas? They'll go, no, we do not have quotas. And they'll say it with a straight face. And what they're doing in their mind is they're hair splitting, okay? They have quotas. They encourage officers to write tickets, and they often give them numbers. But they don't call them quotas. And so if we don't call it a quota, it's not a quota. You know, we encourage them to write certain numbers of tickets. That's not a quota. And so by playing word games like that, they're claiming there are no quotas. And I've spoken to police officers off the record who told me, of course we've got quotas, you stupid. Everyone knows we got quotas. The only real question is, how hard are they on the rules and numbers with a quota? In other words, do they actually give an officer and say, you must write this many tickets? And if you don't, you get sanctioned. And if you do, you get rewarded. Or do they say you should try to write this many tickets? And if you don't, you get nudged. And if you do, you get patted in the back. Or do they just encourage you to write more tickets? And I've heard of variations on all of those. And I've also seen an occasional police officer admit, yes, we are encouraged to write a certain number of tickets. But the way it's supposed to work is a police officer is supposed to go out, do his patrol or her patrol, see what they see, and if appropriate, write tickets. And if not appropriate, don't write tickets. But as you can imagine, if you're given a quota and said you must hit this goal and write this many tickets, sooner or later, they're going to say, I got to write a couple tickets. And they're going to go out and find someone to ticket who they wouldn't have found otherwise. And that's the real problem. So tickets do generate a lot of revenue for the municipalities where they're written. The courts make lots of money off of all this. Of course, that's part of the municipality also. And I'm sure it probably varies from state to state as to who gets what cut of what money. But the idea that police write tickets to meet quotas is something we've known about for years. It's real. It should stop. I don't know if it will or not. But I'm glad that somebody here is standing up and trying to shed light on this practice. And I hope this lawsuit proceeds to where they can actually air this out in court. But how much you want to bet it settles? How much? I mean, just a sneaky feeling. I'm guessing it's going to settle. But if it doesn't settle and we get updates, I'll pass them along. So there you go, my friends. Police officers do write tickets to meet quotas, at least according to a recently filed lawsuit in New Jersey. Questions, comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.